What are we talking about when we say we think YouTube is on easy mode right now? I think it's referring to the algorithm and the platform of YouTube pushing out smaller creators' content on the YouTube homepage and on the For You page and in Up Next. So, you know, like after you watch a video, it'll say Up Next and it'll suggest something. It seems like what's been happening is that it is pushing out or is suggesting smaller creators videos lately. It is the next day and I realized I forgot to mention, hit like, hit subscribe, and just know that I have so much gratitude to you for being here. Maybe the past 3 months or so it's been doing this. I'm not sure exactly how long. And people have been noticing it, that new creators who have little tiny channels like this one with, you know, less than 1,000 subscribers. This one right now has about 400, just surpassed 400 subscribers only. But channels like mine, or maybe yours if you're a YouTuber, if you're a newer YouTuber and creator, have been getting a chance, right? Like the platform is finally giving people like us a chance to be seen, because historically on YouTube, and I'm not like someone who knows every fact about YouTube, but just from what I've been able to gather from being on here and watching a lot of content on here, it seems like the platform has pushed out, you know, larger creators' content more. Bleh, I'm having a hard time speaking today. Pardon me. It seems like in the past, the platform has pushed out creators who have like really fancy setups and really fancy gear and equipment and production teams and like script writers and who knows, the best cameras, you know, the best actors, the best filmographers, videographers, and such, so on and so forth. And I think channels like that will always be popular, even on here or wherever, on TV and in movies, because that's basically what they are. They're full-on like Hollywood scale productions, you know, like Mr. Beast or something. I think there's some women on here who have similar channel styles. I don't really watch channels like that. I actually prefer like smaller creator content, just because I feel more of like a connection with those people, with those types of creators. And I don't know, it's like, it's just more interesting for me. It just holds my interest more. I understand like retention editing is like really flashy and lots of cool things like coming at you every 3 seconds or every 15 seconds or whatnot. And yeah, it's hard to take your eyes off of that, and it can be kind of hypnotic and riveting. But when I'm actually craving like something more from my content, something that I can't get from TV or Netflix or movies even necessarily, that's when I'll tune into YouTube, because I enjoy hearing what the creators that I've been following lately have to say and what's been going on in their lives and what's top of their minds lately. Maybe people were getting a little tired of watching that really highly produced, slick production value stuff all the time. Maybe they wanted a little bit of variety and diversity in the content that was available, and maybe that explains why YouTube has been, you know, allowing smaller creators to have a chance on here. Now, if you are a smaller creator and you're not ready for a video to go viral, you might not actually want it. You might think you want it, but if you haven't had practice on here, and if you haven't spent some time understanding the platform and understanding what you want out of it, if you are going to be creating on here, you should have some clarity around that. So maybe it's a good thing that historically YouTube hasn't really allowed, you know, smaller creators to get that much attention and growth very fast. And I think even now for most of us, it probably still is going to take time and effort and energy and consistency and all of those things that we kind of know about already to really make it like capable of replacing a full-time job or something like that. Make it something where you're monetized and it's worthwhile. But it does seem like it's been a little more permissive in the sense that as long as someone comes on here and has something to say and can be even remotely entertaining or interesting, that, you know, you might get a chance now versus where you might not have a year or two ago, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool and interesting, but I guess I would just say, make sure you have like a game plan and clarity around what you want your channel to be about, and make sure that you're talking about topics that you can continue to talk about, you know, for potentially years to come. If your channel does get successful and it does gain some traction and you start to get some interaction and some interest, you know, you're going to need to be able to sustain that. I have to go in because I'm teaching a yoga class and I think it's about time to start. So I will come back and finish this video later this evening. I just wanted to tell you my take on easy mode because it is interesting and it's fascinating and it's worth talking about and discussing. Okay, so I had to go in and teach. Got home from teaching yoga, made dinner, and that was fine. The boys liked it, so that was pretty good. I really liked it, but I wasn't sure the boys would, but they did. So I was really grateful for that, because sometimes when I come home from teaching yoga in the evening, like, I'm too tired to make dinner. But tonight I just thought to myself, it wouldn't be that hard. Throw some rice in the rice maker and chop up some broccoli really quick and throw it in a pan of water. So that's what I did, and thankfully the boys liked it too. I wasn't feeling well. He was actually throwing up and he had a really bad headache and he said he had a fever and he thought he had food poisoning. But everyone else ate the same food yesterday and no one got food poisoning. So I don't know. It almost sounded to me like a migraine, because sometimes people get migraines and they throw up. Oh, my eyelid is twitching. I'll just hold it like this so it doesn't twitch while I talk to you. Oh, so I was really grateful that the boys enjoyed the dinner that I made, because I was able to like work up the energy and the willpower to make dinner, and they were like really appreciative and they liked it. So if it is true that YouTube is on easy mode, I mean, what an opportunity, right? Like, gosh, the people that are just coming onto YouTube now, like if you're trying to just get on, and if there's truth to this easy mode idea that is now just going to put your video as a newcomer into like the eyeballs of tons of people that have never heard of you, that's just incredible. So, I mean, why not try, right? If you're serious about it, if you really want to be a creator on here, why not? And I mean, I've heard people say, like, some of the small YouTubers that have blown up recently, like that they don't have any value or they're not offering enough to be sustainable. But I don't know about that, because I think a lot of people come on here because they want to feel connection. They want to feel like that warmth. They want to feel that authenticity and that feeling of like a real person is here, talking, sharing, explaining. Maybe you can learn something helpful. You know, maybe you can be educated. Maybe you can be entertained. Maybe they're funny and they can make you laugh. So yeah, all that's part of it. But also it's like that feeling of like a friend, or that feeling of just a creator that you can relate to. It's something that we can't really get from TV, movies. If we wanted to watch something really well produced and fancy, we'd watch TV and movies. But we come to YouTube for that feeling of like seeing someone like us, or someone that reminds us of ourselves in some way, even if they don't look anything like us. Or maybe someone who's from a totally different like demographic, but there's still something there about them that we can connect to. That's what we come for. So I don't know. I think it's an awesome opportunity, and it's an awesome reason to try. And then the thing is, even if you start and you don't have a plan, you just have like a pla, you can get started and then just hit the ground running. And as you're running, you start to develop your ideas further, and you start to figure out what you're doing and what your purpose is. Like for me, it's self-care. So, you know, I just taught a yoga class. Like I had some people who were trauma survivors tell me that they felt like the class was so short and it went by so fast. And then the clinical director there told me that the people in the class loved me, which was really nice to hear. So I like to help people in that way, you know. I like to, not just people who've been through trauma, but just anyone who is interested in learning about self-care and how to use these practices of meditation, yoga, and just living in such a way where you accept yourself and you love yourself no matter what. If you've gotten this far in the video, hit subscribe so you can get more content like this, content that just feels like talking to you as a friend about topics relating to self-care, especially over the age of 40 and 50 and beyond, and how to live a holistically healthy, happy life, as well as being on YouTube and how that can relate to overall loving yourself, accepting yourself, and respecting yourself. One of the cool aspects about being on YouTube is that even if your videos never get many views, it can serve as kind of a video diary or a journal of your life, so you can go back and look at what you were thinking about a couple of years ago or even a few months ago. It's just interesting to be able to go back and look through different phases of your life and think about what was on your mind back then and notice and observe how things evolve and change for yourself. So that's another interesting and good reason to get on YouTube, and that's part of why I call it an act of self-care, because it's a great way to help you learn about yourself and really think about what's going on internally. And I've really been enjoying the conversations in the comments, so consider leaving a comment as well so we can interact on here. I did a video recently where I talked about feeling like I have no friends, but still being able to, you know, be happy, and I want to talk more about that too on here. That's kind of my theme lately, but there's room to develop and improve and find a niche, and I think part of the thing that can happen if YouTube really is on easy mode is that people can start to feel connected to one YouTuber, one creator on here, or, you know, maybe a handful or whatnot. Like, that's how I am. I watch probably a handful of people regularly. And it's fun to watch them evolve and watch their channel evolve and see what they come up with and see what they feel is worthy of sharing and see how they grow as people and kind of grow together in this human experiment, in this experience of being a person in the world. One creator can maybe inspire a lot of people as well to get on here and see what they can turn this platform into for themselves. Speaking of videos from small creators sort of taking off, I recently put up a video about having no friends or feeling like I have no friends, and how I deal with that and how I am still happy without friends. And remember, radical self-acceptance, radical self-care, and radical self-love, those will always be there for you. You can do it.